This was, and still is eventually, going to be the final crescendo to another video at the end of this month, but circumstances hitherto unforeseen have compelled me to release it as its own standalone thing a few weeks early. I'm sure you can piece together what those are for yourselves. I'll talk about it in more detail at that later date, but for right now, as always, my friends, stay safe, stay sane, and may peace be ever upon you. Beware the false god. Beware the evil eye that watches all from the black plain with wicked intent. Beware the snake who thinks himself a dragon. Beware the sinuous coils that wrap around the roots of the great tree and strangle it to death. Beware the bleak, the mangy, the wretched, the lowly, the hollow, for they will drag you down to their level and crush you with their leaden spirits. Beware, but do not falter. Do not bow or flee before the coward, for he will be upon you in moments to plunge his blade into your back. Never show your spine to an animal. Make them know your teeth and your claws. Show them the shape of your horns, and teach them the texture of your boots. Beware, but do not dismay, for the locks and chains of greed are great and heavy, but they are hollow. They cannot sustain their own burdens. They cannot hold their own weight, and so they shall go the way of all beasts, to be returned to the mud that, in nature's infinite morass of senseless mirth, so rudely spawned them to be our most displeasurable acquaintances. Behold the fullest measure of the sickly, sour, rotten fruit of that lot's bitter harvest. Behold the swollen, grotesque mask of squalid, cankerous, and miserable debauchery that dared lay its hoary grasp upon our beloved cradle. Behold the fiend in his true guise, a horrid, small, shambling husk of a corpse, too thoroughly rotten, too fully cowed by the weight of humbling eons to even suitably house a salient will anymore. Behold the bottomless abyss which this covetous thing calls its sanctuary. Behold the monster, the worm, the foul wretch who would crush and convert all that is dear and sacred to us into profanest chum to feed his apostate will. Behold this demon's infinite despondency, and rejoice, for here at last lies he that has caused us many a blight, and here shall rot the great despoiler in abject and absolute abolition for all eternity. To reach into heaven, it once was wisely said, one must first trod through the deepest, darkest chasms of hell. And just so, when the true prophet at last speaks his fateful verse, Eden burns.